My dad, as everybody knows, died in December. He was 87 years old and lived a wonderfully long, good life. He grew up on a farm north of Cortez, Colorado, in a place called Lewis that was named after his maternal grandfather. His paternal grandfather was a miner in Silverton, made just enough money to buy the plot of land that became the farm ranch that my dad and his 3 siblings grew up on. And so he is a Southwest Coloradoan and a Montezuma County-an through and through.
He was a gentleman who always wanted to do what was right.
With John, he always had that smile, the handshake, just nice and firm, but the love of the community.
Loved and spent a lot of time with his family. Then when it got over into the water world, as we call it, he had a passion for it that kept him constantly energized.
Even though the Animas La Plata project was the big focus of the Colorado Indian Water Rights Settlement, the Dolores project played a big role in it. And John was an absolute committed supporter of seeing that water rights settlement through.
He knew how to take something that was stuck and move it forward better than anybody I have ever known.
And John Porter's life and his water life were the same thing. The way he looked at this is that was just life for him. It was to work on water and couldn't imagine himself doing anything differently. Many people met him when he became involved in water policy, but he was a farmer and rancher for many, many, many years. He lived the life and knew how important water was, and especially lived through some bad droughts. And so when you do that, you, I think, have a special appreciation for the resource of water development.
And I guess I would say that without John's involvement, I'm not sure we would have made it to the finish line. And we spent a lot of time in Washington, D.C. together because we were lobbying the Dolores project and lobbying the settlement kind of parallel. I mean, they were tied together and they pretty much came together at the same time.
A lot of people, including his father, worked on securing the funding from Congress for McPhee Reservoir.
One of my fondest memories of John was sitting in the lobby of a hotel in Washington, D.C. one evening. The whole family had been out lobbying for ALP. We faced opposition that was based on some really unfair misinformation. We'd all gone out to dinner and everybody was voicing their frustration. How do we ever overcome this? And I was on quite a rant. And John sat there, he patted me on the knee and said, "Christine, we're all in this together and we're gonna win. We might have to make some changes along the way, but this is the right thing to do." That was John Porter.
He got many awards over the years, and I think what he would say about this one is he would just smile and kind of humbly look the other way and say that he didn't do it alone. And so I think he would thank his family and he would thank my mom. They were married 66 years. He was always thinking, thank you, but I didn't do it alone.
John's legacy is what he taught all of the rest of us in the water community about how to get things done.
One of the lasting legacies, I think, of John is, what can we do better? We're not done yet. What can we do better? But the one thing that he always gave us, or gave people, that the impact of water really, but he gave us a hat, and it had the water buffalo on it.
Certified water buffalo hats. I got one of the original ones. You can see from John in 2002.
You finally get one. Out of all these years, I'm going like, man, I never did get one of these things. And that time he gave me one. So it was like, okay, I made it. I made an impact.
Whenever I'm done talking about water, I usually try to put my water buffalo hat on and say, "Thanks, John, I miss you."
His ability to wade into the thorniest and most tense issues and deal with people on all sides of it, and actually in his own modest, very quiet way, bring people into alignment around things that they thought they differed over. I mean, when I think about the many dicey situations where I've called upon John's help.
When you're in a really bad drought, when you need a gentle rain, from the cradle of the sleeping unit, from the canyon mesas furrows, across the shining mountains, across the mountain parks, when most you need to call upon the peoples of the great Southwest to gather themselves together, the rays of all thirst-quenching hope, you call on John.